Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City, out in theaters. Now, it's an adaptation of a long-running video game series, and actually there has already been a series of films made previously, action movies with, I think, Milla Jovovich in them. I haven't seen any of those previous films, nor have I played any of the games ever, so I approached this film with a completely fresh eye. This one is a new thing, it's a reboot, it's supposed to go back to the video game roots and shoot for horror much more than action. Now, I have to admit one thing straight away. This is probably the most accurately marketed movie I've seen all year. The trailers, the posters, and the promotional pictures for it all looked like trash can fire. And the movie is exactly the same. It's stupid, poorly made, the plot makes no sense, the characters are paper thin, it looks shit, it has no tension, and is boring as fuck. The most noticeable characteristic of this film is how dark it is. And I don't mean the atmosphere or the tone of it, but just literally how dark each frame of it is. Most of the time I was just struggling to make out what was exactly going on the screen. A lot of it is barely visible, and therefore it's difficult to follow what the hell is going on. Fortunately, even if you do get lost, you don't lose much because the storyline is so poor. Claire Redfield returns to Raccoon City, a town where she grew up as a child in an orphanage and which was home to Umbrella Corporation, a pharmaceutical company. The corporation is now in the process of leaving the town, which means that the very few people that are staying are kind of, dead-end jobs in a ghost town. Claire believes there is some shady shit going on and wants to, well, that is the question, isn't it? What does she want? Does she want to expose it? Well, if so, she seems genuinely disinterested in gathering any sort of evidence. Does she want to rescue her brother, a local police officer? She doesn't really seem to do that as well when she first meets him. She doesn't even suggest leaving town. So she kind of joins up with Liam Kennedy, a rookie cop, and together they sort of stumble their way through the story wherever the script sends them. And by the way, Leon may well be the most incompetent character I've ever seen on film. He literally only does one thing correctly at the end of the film, and that could have been done by anyone else. Other than that, he serves no purpose in the film. His character doesn't have a connection to anyone or anything else. He doesn't help move the plot forward. He's not an audience insert to ask questions because all the other characters also ask them. He's not a comic relief because he's not funny. And the actor who plays him is wooden as shit. I have no idea what was the premise with this character. What was the idea? What? The filmmakers were also apparently going for a horror vibe, as they themselves said. Well, the movie is not scary at all, and it's at times laughable. Just how many times zombies and other creatures manage to sneak up on the characters. It's like everyone in this film is deaf and blind. Also, if a zombie ever gets in range of a side character, they just die instantly. If it's the main character, though, there is always an inexplicable plot armor which prevents the monsters from actually trying to murder them. Egregious stuff, truly. And I mean, it's not even like it's deliberately a B movie. Donald Logue and Neil McDonough, who play supporting roles, they seem to have a slight idea of what they signed up for, and they just go ham with their performances, chewing the scenery left and right. But all the other young actors, the main cast, they seem completely unaware that they've been cast in a garbage film, and they try to take it all seriously, which is just odd. And as a final point, because some people tend to enjoy watching bad movies for laughs, I thought this could be one of them, one of this specific category of films. The first 20 minutes or so I was watching with that sort of morbid curiosity, wondering how bad it's going to go next. But then I realized I was no longer waiting for the next shit show. I was waiting for the movie to end, because I was bored out of my mind. I mean, it's 1 hour 47 minutes long, which is pretty long for an action horror film, and it feels like it goes on for 4 hours or something, honestly. And boredom is something that I just cannot forgive in a movie. Save yourself some time, stay away from this one, it's just not worth the time.